Right, so the second part of today's lesson is a bit more drawing and naming practice for you. Listen carefully, and you'll also need to pay close attention when you copy down these structures for you to do them yourself. The answers to this work are also available. They're posted with this work. Obviously, don't look at that first. The idea is it's purely for practice. Everybody benefits from getting a bit more practice, so use those last. Please do it last. I'm not going to be checking on this one. So make sure that you copy the structures accurately. I just want to say a few things about what I want you to do. We're going to be working completely in skeletal formula style today. We have to practice it. We're not going to do our mechanisms in skeletal. We're not doing any mechanisms here. It's purely naming and drawing. So you can see that we've got this organic molecule, branch chain haloalkane by the look of it, reacting with a hydroxide. So you can predict what the product would be. Things I want you to do then. I want you to name the haloalkane. I want you to draw the product which would be formed, which is an alcohol, and I want you to name that product. So those are the three things for you to do for question one. You might need to pause if I'm not giving you enough time to copy, but you can always come back and quickly have a look at the structures. Don't be put off by this. Notice that it's saturated. Remember that in skeletal formula we don't show the hydrogens, but you can work out how many hydrogens there should be there if you need to. Now also I've tried to indicate that this is a reaction that involves two hydroxides getting involved, and there's the molecular formula for the product. Have a go. This is one that some people are going to find quite hard. I want you to name the that starting reactant. You can see where we're going with this. And then two things here. I want you to draw the structure and have a go at naming the product as well. C6H12 is the molecular formula, but what would its skeletal? Remember, we're working in skeletal here. Structure be, and how do you feel about naming that? Listen out for my answer, because I'll explain what you do about naming these sorts of things in that video that's here as well. Again, I strongly advise you to count the carbons carefully. Count the carbons carefully for number 3. Another sort of funny looking branched haloalkane to deal with. As before, name that reactant, and you guessed it, name the product, sorry, draw and name the product. Okay, so draw and name the product in skeletal formula style. Question 4, I've given you an incomplete balanced equation. I'm not asking you to balance it because the idea here is naming and drawing. Those are our big focus. So maybe the first thing for you to do here is name that thing, that well, I don't want to give you any clues, that chemical there. And then I want you to identify which haloalkane, which I've used the shorthand RX, R suggesting alkyl, X suggesting group 7, which haloalkane could have possibly done that reaction. Draw it, or write its formula and name it. Okay, so identify the haloalkane that would have gone with as much ammonia as was necessary. I'm not going to ask you to balance that equation. It gets a bit awkward, as we saw in a previous lesson, but draw and name what RX is. And there's a 5th question as well, just to keep you really busy, and that is just on this post-it note. So think about that. As you can see there, it says draw the product when ammonia reacts with an excess of iodoethane to form a quaternary product, whatever that means. So all I want you to do there is, as it says, draw it, draw the product that would be formed. But secondly, I want you to give it a complete name. So basically every chemical, if it's already drawn, you name it. If it's not drawn, you draw it and name it. Simple as that. Good luck with that. As I said, the answers are available. I won't be checking this work, so hopefully that encourages some of you who might have otherwise been tempted. Just do it for yourself, all right? Practice it, find out if you got it all right or not, get the feedback from the video, and that's it for today then, nice and simple. There we go. You might need to go back and have a look at the questions in case they've gone too quickly.